How's it going, folks? Time for a bit of a midweek aquaponics update. You can probably tell that the fish might be a bit hungry. The reason being is I just got home from picking up Kira from work. Water temperature is currently sitting at 27 degrees Celsius because today I think I saw the thermometer hit 41 degrees Celsius while I was in the car doing the post run. So we've had a bit of a warm day, a little bit warmer than was predicted. So I should probably give these guys a bit of a feed. I'll be back in a tick. So there we go. Just a quick heads up for you folks who buy the Ridley stuff from Primo Aquafeed or Primo. Oh, anyway, I'll put the link down in the description. They've got some stuff that's marked down at the moment. I picked up a bag and I've got to nip up and pick it up sometime later this week. So I like the Ridley's feed better than the others. It's Aussie owned, Aussie developed and all that. And plus that pellet size is really small for these fish. So they definitely could do with something a bit bigger. Let's pop my scoop back and we'll check the pH. Oh, you get splashed by the fish. And the pH is sitting at probably about 6.6, 6.7. 6.7, so I dare say after that feed and this morning's it may come down a little bit further. Other aquaponics wise, all those bok choy got smashed by the grubs, so they never went out there. So what I ended up doing was just cutting the whole leaves off the punnet, or whole plants off the punnet, throwing them in there and letting the fish have a bit of a feed over a couple of days. A bit of protein as well as a bit of veg. And I do need to get some more plants to go in there. I'm thinking I'll probably get some more bok choy because I want to run them again, just because we eat them all. And I've asked Mum and my sister to tell me what they're eating a lot of at the moment, and I'm going to plant that out, mainly because we have cut back just to our basic leafy greens and whatnot. The lettuce is starting to get a bit of a leaf burn right on the edge there, so I need to address that. It can be a calcium issue, so I am adding a fair amount of calcium at the moment, so just because the pH is plummeting all the time because it's warmed up and they're feeding well, so I dare say that will rectify itself. I was using potassium bicarbonate for ages because it's more stable, but it looks like the newer leaves are the ones that are being damaged down in there. Sorry for the shoddy camera work. Trying to get the phone to focus just to show you here. It's happening on the newer leaves as well, so I dare say I need to address that. And whoa, where are we, focus? Get some more calcium into the system. I dare say now the warrigal greens are out, the demand on it will be lowered because that was a pretty massive plant that was growing over there. So that's what the warrigals were looking like, and this is what they look like now, so a big difference. And yeah, I have cleaned up the other plants in the bed there as well. So just to give you a bit of a closer look on the New Zealand spinach, I think maybe we have had a few magnesium issues as well. So I do need to dose up the system and pay a little bit more attention to what's going on. I know it's probably a magnesium issue as well as the calcium one we saw before, because the newer growth is coming out nice and green and some of the older stuff is coming out a little bit chlorotic in between the veins. So the system will be dosed up with some Epsom salts this week as well. I did a video harvesting the warrigal greens. I should call them New Zealand spinach really, because that's what most people know them as, New Zealand spinach, and filmed the harvesting and the processing of the greens. So we'll be posting a video very soon to YouTube, just looking at the how to grow them, how to get them germinated and all that sort of thing, all the way through to processing, and include a couple of links to some recipes we've used with these guys as well. It's one of our favourite warm weather spinaches to grow, mainly because it's just too hot here to grow the traditional English spinach. Another jobby I got to through the week was harvesting some aloe vera from the system. We've got a family friend who is having oncology treatment at the moment and is suffering some burns. I'm actually playing taxi for her. She's having oncology treatment every day for the next 6 or so weeks. So I'm looking after her doing that, and she wants some aloe vera to help with the burns. So I harvested a whole heap to take over, put some in a pot, some for her to do make preparations with. And I just noticed the weight of that one hanging over the edge has made it fall out. So I should probably find a home for that as well, maybe break off some pups and pop them up. And I just found something that Jack did. Over there is my perennial leeks. What's this? What's this? Did you do this? Did you do this? You did you? Little bugger. So, need to repot them. He's a little, we love him to death, but I tell you what, we've only ever had rescue puppies before, and they were all mature rescue puppies. He is a different kettle of fish, so they should do okay. I might take out a couple of those smaller ones and baby them. So that's another jobby to do. Time for a bit of spruiking, folks. Quick heads up, I do have that Aquaponics beginner's guide still available if you're aqua curious and you want to learn a bit more about aquaponics. And for you folks who already do know about aquaponics, you can purchase a gift card so you can pass it on to family or friends who are also interested in aquaponics. Might be a good gift coming up to the holiday season and Christmas and whatnot. I also do have other bits and pieces on the store. I have some venturis coming back in stock this week. I have the uniseals that you use to plumb up your aquaponics filters and that sort of thing. Plant Doctor kelp flakes, which is great for adding some added extra micronutrients to the system. Also the filter socks, they're the ones that Owen uses just to polish up the water to get all those fine particles out. And I also have a bit of an offer on the Queensland Nutbuster at the moment. $5 off with any order that you have a Queensland Nutbuster in, so it can be kelp as well as a Nutbuster. The Nutbusters, by the way, are an awesome nutcracker, best value one you're going to find online. They do anything from a hazelnut all the way up to walnuts. Now once you get a bit of experience with the Nutbuster, you'll be hammering those nuts out in no time flat. That's enough from me, back to the video. This aloe here just had a very small nub end really when I stuck it in the gravel there, so it will be interesting to see how it goes. I have noticed it's a little bit yellow, but then again we have had those high temps, so it could have something to do with that while it's looking a little bit yellow. I'll just keep an eye on it. These guys root really easily, so we should have no issues with that. And just down in here I popped in a little bit of lemongrass, just trying to rescue it from the rest of the patch. And around the other side I did the same thing with some mushroom herb, because the mushroom herb in the other bed, I would like to take it out, basically clean all the plants out of there except for the warrigals at the end, and start afresh over there. So try and root a cutting here. This bed here also has a load of the volunteer sweet basil that fell down from the deck, and last year's ginger has started to shoot. There's a couple more shoots here and another one over there. They're not looking that crash hot, but I do know that ginger doesn't like the salt, and I did salt the system the other week due to having a couple of fish that were bullied and they had lesions on them. So there's about 2.5 to 3 parts per 1,000 salt in the system, and yeah, just 3 years gone by, I know ginger don't like it. No, Jack, leave the water chestnuts alone, the leeks were enough. So anyway folks, one thing I did want to just point out that I do have a video coming on the venturis. I've had a few people ask when it's going to be posted. Basically what I'm going to be doing is setting up an underwater camera in this tub here, and going to be putting 3 venturis through the test. The Infusinators from Rob from Bigelow, Brook Farm. If you're into aquaponics and you haven't subbed to his channel already, do so now. Go down below in the description, open it up in another tab, please, keep watching this, and then subscribe to Rob and go check out his videos later. This is a little venturi Rob's come up with to keep the roots of your plants oxygenated in deep water culture systems, and you can also set them up in fish tanks as well. So yeah, hop over to Rob's channel after you're finished here and you can suss out a couple of those videos. This one here is the venturi I have been selling for a number of years now. It's got no threaded fitting, so I had a few people complain that they couldn't set it up. Other people absolutely love them, they think they're fantastic. I'm going to continue using them. I want to see what it looks like underwater versus the Infusinators. And this little beastie here, the Greenie. I've had a few people recommend me this one as well. This one has the threaded fittings, as you can see, so it's for those people who just like to plug and play their fittings. I haven't seen this one in action other than the Pond Gurus videos. There'll be links to the Pond Gurus channel, g'day mate, down in the description below, so go over and give him some love as well and suss out the Venturi video. So it will be interesting to see how these guys all perform underneath the water using the cam. One last look at the fish, just tossed a little bit more feed in for them. There will be a video coming this weekend looking at the swarming bees. That's the native bees we have down the back, and there will also be that warrigal greens video, as well as the venturi one coming soon. And I'm also working on a few bits of extra content for the guide for all you folks who have purchased it. Any new content that goes into that guide is free for anyone who's purchased it already, and purchase it down the road as well, I suppose. So there you go. I will pretty much all leave it there. Thank you very much to all those folks who do come along every week, and the supporters supporting us on various different platforms. Really do appreciate the support. Helps to buy fish feed for these little fellas and pay the bills. But I will leave it there. I do hope you're all well and happy and your systems are booming, and I'll catch you next video. Cheers folks. Happy growing. You gonna say goodbye, fish? No, I've spooked them, I think. See ya folks.